That performance that we just saw might be the most incredible one night that an Illini player has ever had. Locked on Illini, let's go.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome all to another edition of Locked On Illini. Thank you all so much for making us your first listen each and every day. And thank you so much for making the Locked On Sports Network the number one sports network in the world. As you can see, I'm traveling a little bit, so I've got no notes today. All I have is the same game that you guys saw. My name is Sonny Verma. You're here watching Locked On Illini, where I do coverage each and every day, sometimes twice a day, and sometimes we cover what might be the most incredible performance I've ever watched. I mean, if you're a longtime ball watcher, you let me know what competes with this one, because I'm out of words. I don't have any notes here. I just watched that performance, and I'm telling you, my phone is dead because I had Illini fan or non-Illini fans texting me, "Are you watching this? Are you seeing what's happening on the basketball court today?" And I mean, if the national media, if the generic college basketball fan hadn't heard of Keaton Wagler, that was your introduction today. By the way, again, I'm in a different place. Can someone in the chat let me know that you can hear me? Make sure the audio is working. I'm not doing all this for no reason. So Keaton Wagler, in one of the most incredible performances. Look, I went on several Purdue shows this past week, and a lot of them were talking about, hey, Keaton's a good player, but CJ Cox is going to lock him up, but he's never played in an environment like Mackey Arena. And you know what? Thank you, Nolan. You guys can, thanks, Phil. You guys can hear me good. Keaton's never been tested in a Big Ten environment. Keaton's never gone into Mackey Arena. That's different. It's one thing to go play Minnesota or Ohio State, whatnot. Purdue is just a little bit different. And you know what? Shame on me. I started believing that. I mean, those of you who watched my Locked On preview for this game saw I predicted the score right. 88-82 is what I picked. But I had Purdue winning. And I picked Purdue despite knowing that this team is different from previous year's teams. And when you take a look at the game plan that Brad Underwood put together, is it fair to say, and tell me if I'm lying, I know there's a few of you out there who are Brad Underwood haters, that's fine. Today, at least, this doesn't happen 4 out of 5 times. But today, Brad Underwood outcoached Matt Painter. And not that it matters, because Brad Underwood simply had Keaton Wagler on his basketball team. By the way, 220 people watching this live. Make sure all of you hit the like button right here with the vibes. Look, I didn't have to go live today. I'm in a completely random basement right now because I needed to be with you guys. This is just one of those performances where, again, I'm cycling through my memory right now of what game, considering the circumstances, this Illinois team is without its second best player. The one guy, look, Purdue made 14 of their first 18 shots. They were shooting 65% very early in this game. And you guys probably had the same thought that I did. Man, I miss Kylan Boswell. If we had Kylan, I'd feel a whole lot better. But if you're in the Talk Illini Discord, I kept saying, you know what? Keep it close. When that was only a 4-point game at halftime, I told everyone, I was like, you know what? This Purdue team had dominated that first half. And despite that domination, they were up by 4. And at that point, I kind of knew. I hate saying this. This feels surreal. This feels unlike anything I've felt before. As Illini fans, we're used to being crushed at the end. When Braden Smith made that three-pointer, he got fouled. Andrej Stojakovic fouled him, and he got 3 free throws. I'm like, they're going to make 3 right here we're only going to be up by 1 point. We're going to miss our shot. Purdue comes back on the other end, and they're going to make the game winner. That's how I'm programmed to think now. Being an Illini fan for 30 plus years. But, and Kev, I know you've mentioned this a couple of times, and you doubted us yesterday. I know, and you know what? I'm kicking myself for it. And I really am. It's one of those where I come on here every day, and I tell you that this team is different. And yet I still predicted them to lose. But you know what? Think about this. Illinois is without Kylan Boswell going into Mackey Arena against a fully healthy Purdue team. The spread opened up at 2.5. It jumped up to 5.5 in Purdue's favor. I'm not wrong here, right? I'm just as happy as you guys, but I predicted a close game. I predicted the score, and you're right. Next time I come on here and I predict the Illini to lose for whatever reason, troll me, please. Call me out, because I'm not going to do that anymore. Not after today's performance. And, I mean, let's look at – let me pull up Keaton's numbers real quick. In 39 minutes, Keaton Wagler played 39 minutes. He had 46 points, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers. 13 of 17, shot 9 of 11 from three-point land. But you know what I wanted to talk about? You know what is maybe my favorite part of this game? And you guys may or may not have noticed this. But with about 6-7 minutes left in that second half, Keaton was gassed. Keaton was tired. You could see it. He was missing the front end of free throws. And how can you blame him, right? He was carrying this team in particular for that first 30 minutes or so. And then you had David Mirkovic pick up his 4th foul. Now, look, the big question was, hey, this if Keaton gets hurt, who's the backup point guard? We tried Brandon Lee in that first half. We tried Mihajlo Petrovic in that first half. None of it really worked. What worked was David Mirkovic, our power forward, becoming our backup point guard. And I'm saying it worked. Now, I know David's got background. He was a guard growing up. He just happened to shoot up in size, and so that's why he moved to the 4 spot. But my favorite part of the game, and the reason that I'm not going to doubt this team anymore, and again, let me know if you guys noticed this too. When Keaton was winded at the 7-minute mark, it's not like you can take him out. What happened in just the next couple minutes? Illinois made 3 3-point shots. Everybody else stepped up. It was Tommy Avicic who made a 3. Jake Davis made a 3. And who was the third one? It's escaping my mind right now. Like, when our leader, the guy who'd been carrying the team the whole time, needed a break and needed other guys to step up, other guys stepped up. This was clearly a Keaton Wagler win, but in a lot of ways, to me, this was also a team victory. Oh, that's right, Adam, you're right. It was Merck. This was a team victory because they didn't let their leader down. If you had to count on Keaton for those last 6 minutes, I don't know if whether or not he would have been able to do it. To no fault of his own. I've been live for 9 minutes trying to think of another performance that I think outdoes this one. I don't think there was. But in the end, what makes this team so dangerous, what makes me so excited, is it wasn't just Keaton. When you look at the box score, you're going to see just Keaton Wagler, right? No other box score really jumps out at you for any other player. Maybe David with his 12 and 8. 12 and 8 is the second best effort today. But I'm telling you, outside maybe 1 or 2 guys, everyone contributed to this win today. Every single person. Purdue is a really good basketball team. Purdue was ranked number 4, and I don't have to tell you, they're not just ranked number 4, they're playing at home. And you know what? You know, Illinois has given Purdue its first back-to-back losses in 3 years. 2023 was the last time. And that's why silly old me, foolish me, had Purdue winning, thinking, they're pissed off after that Utah or UCLA lost. No way they come back to Mackey and they lose again to this Illinois team who is going to be without their second best player. Kylan Boswell is not going to be there to guard Braden Smith. Silly me. This team, everything that we've watched of basketball over the last few years. And you know what? Thomas Lavavicic kind of said this. He talked about it. This team is just, it's ready. It knows, every player knows its role. But I'm telling you, the way the end of the game, the last 5 minutes, when Keaton, got those free throws at the end. But for a stretch, he needed the other guys to step up, and they did. And Illinois beats Purdue 88-82. The college football playoff is here, and FanDuel is giving all customers even more ways to get in on the action every single game day of the playoffs. Because right now, every college football playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost waiting for them in the app. Listen, what I love about it is simply I can ride with the favorite, or I can go with the team that I think is controlling the matchup. Or, hey, have some fun. Take a shot on the underdog if, you want to make things a little extra spicy. Then you can apply the profit boost and go after even bigger winnings. And when you win, FanDuel pays out instantly, which is perfect for playoff football. FanDuel is the best place to get in on the action all playoff long. Go visit FanDuel.com to get your college football playoff profit boosts every game day. Let's go over this box score real quick because, again, I know Keaton Wagler is a story, and by gosh, he is a story. This is a national story now. All of your friends who don't know anything about Illinois basketball will have heard the name Keaton Wagler. I watched this game with my brother-in-law, and he's like, who's that kid? Not a big college basketball guy, and I had to explain it to him. And I'm telling you, now he knows. He was on his phone Googling Keaton Wagler and his story. By the way, we have 276 people watching, 115 likes. That math is not mathing. Like it up for your boy. Like it up for the Illini. And this is probably the second most important game that Illinois had this year, right? I think all of us, be honest, we have February 27th circled, right? Michigan. That's the big game that most of us really want to win. We get that game at home. But Purdue's also 7-1 in the conference. And you lose this, and essentially one of these two teams is going to be out of the Big Ten race. And by the way, go ahead, call me out again. Silly old me, rapid reaction. Kylan Boswell being hurt for a month. I said, okay, you can scratch off Big Ten title hopes. Sonny doesn't know ball sometimes. Call me out on that. You know what? Hand up. That's me. I need to stop doing that with this basketball team. This team is different. This team... again, would I rather have Kylan back? Yes, but as I mentioned before, you can learn from this experience. We had Tommy, we had Morez Johnson hurt right around this time last year, and we had to insert Trey White into the lineup. And we all know Trey White ended up being one of the most efficient basketball players on not just our team, but in the league. And maybe, knowing that Kylan's gone, other guys are going to step up. Okay, so again, I know today's the Keaton Wagler show, but I want to give credit to some of these other players because their box score, which I'm looking at right now, nothing jumps out at you, but a lot of them provided really valuable plays. Okay, so David Mirkovic, it's easy saying Keaton Wagler is the MVP. No doubt about it. Nobody's going to argue that. But David was just as important today. Okay, that's hyperbole. Not just as important. Keaton Wagler and 46 points is a little more important. But I think you guys know what I'm saying. David basically handled the point guard duties every time Keaton Wagler, they had CJ Cox basically meeting him at the inbounds and trying to rough him up. And if they continue to give Keaton Wagler the ball there, well, he's going to get winded. He's going to work on his stamina just to get across half court. So what did they do? What did Brad do? They had David work on bringing the ball up. And TKR is not going to meet him at the end line. David, not just 12 points, but he had big three-pointers for you. And how many offensive rebounds did he have? 3 offensive rebounds, 8 rebounds total. Again, almost a double-double. I truly do believe one of the reasons that this team won was its offensive rebounding. And that's not hard-hitting analysis. Okay, I'm not patting myself on the back for that one. But I said that if this team out-rebounded Purdue, and if they hit 35% from 3, that they would win this game. Illinois out-rebounded Purdue 33-19, and they shot 47% from three-point land. This, what I'm about to say, is not hyperbole. If Illinois plays the way they did today, they can beat anybody in the country. And you know what? They proved it today. Purdue is literally one of the best teams in the entire country. Illinois went into their house and they put a whooping on them. A game where the fans were all into it. That first half, Purdue went up 11. How annoying were those Boilermaker fans? We know how hard it is to win a game there. When they were down 11, yeah, sure. But this team didn't give up. They didn't waver even the slightest. And why? It's because Keaton does not waver the slightest. You don't know if you're up 20. You don't know if you're down 15 by the look on his face. He doesn't show any level of frustration. Just complete composure. And I'm running out of words. Jake Davis, let me talk about him for a second. I'm just going to go through this whole lineup real quick. 29 minutes, he had 8 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 2 of 7 from free throw. Again, nothing great, right? 3 rebounds. But you guys remember that one offensive rebound where he had the easy putback? It was moments like that where audibly you heard the Mackey Arena, Painter's crew, kind of put their hands on their heads, just being frustrated by how much this team truly does offensive rebound. 13-3, Illinois won the offensive rebound stat. And Purdue's a pretty good rebounding team. If you guys caught the preview I did and several other previews, everyone was talking about, Purdue being a really good rebounding team. Well, not against Illinois. Illinois imposed their will. Let me take a look at some of the other box scores. Tommy Ivicic, which a lot of fans in the Talk Line at Discord were a little upset with, because the Ivicic, the Twins, again, you look at their box score, nothing jumps out at you. Tommy had, let me pull this up real quick, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Did you know he had 8 rebounds? Because he had 0 points for a lot of that game. But offensive rebounds, how many did he have? 4. 4 offensive rebounds. He was key to that game. I know a lot of people were saying that the Ivicic brothers disappeared. Zvonimir himself had 4 points in 20 minutes. Big Z, I don't think he was that great today. But again, it didn't matter. He was a -10 in the plus-minus, if you care about that stat. Some people do, some people don't. But Tomislav, 2 for 5, and those 2 shots he made, huge. I can't say this enough. What a team performance by these guys. Ben Hummerkaus comes in, goes 2 for 4 from three-point land. Look, when Jake Davis missed his first couple three-pointers, there's a lot of questioning that you're going to have. Are they ready for this moment? They absolutely did. Jake Davis made the next couple three-pointers, and Ben Hummerkaus, 2 of 4. When Ben and Jake are going to hit their three-pointers, Tommy, David, who's going to beat them? I'm telling you, nobody's going to beat them. Well, somebody probably will. But I like our chances against anybody. And again, I think they absolutely proved it today. I got one more ad read I got to do. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with a local TurboTax expert in person or connect online. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150, all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year, just file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. All right, we got a lot of comments. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through all of them. But again, I just kind of want to recap what this game means, right? We're now 8-1. Nebraska, unfortunately, did win again today, despite the scare. At halftime, I think they were tied with Minnesota, but they ended up pulling away. So Nebraska is still number 1. Purdue now falls to number 3. And now Illinois, they're going to be battling with Michigan State. I believe we got Michigan State up next, right? If I recall. And then, of course, Michigan also only has 1 loss. We're right in the thick of things. You basically want to keep your head above water. And you know what? No, here, I can't be talking like that. It's not keep your head above water. That's what previous teams would do. That's what previous Illinois teams, if Kylan misses 10 games, my mindset would be go 6-4 in those 10 games. No, that's not. Look, these live post games, you're watching me do a self-therapy session right here. No, why not win 9 games? Why not just win all 10? If you won the toughest one, am I wrong? Assuming that Kylan is back for Michigan, the Michigan game, by the way, you're going to have at home is, if you take a look at our schedule, wasn't going to Purdue the toughest one on your schedule? And you add on top of that, Kylan Boswell being out, Purdue being fully healthy. By the way, Braden Smith totally faked that injury. I'm just kidding to the Boilermaker fans. He just wanted to get that crowd riled up. This was the toughest test that this Illini basketball team had to take. They've now won 9 in a row, which actually that breaks Brad Underwood's record. This team has done something for Brad that no other team has done under Brad, which again continues with the theme of the night, the theme of the week, the theme of the month. This team is different in a good way, in a way that all preconceived notions that we have about who we are as a fan base, who we are as a basketball team, are thrown out the window. If you can beat Purdue in Mackey without Kylan, there's not a single game in our schedule that you can't do the same exact thing. So, again, I don't recall off the top of my head how many games we are scheduled to have without Kylan. And, again, we don't know, right? They say out 3 to 4 weeks, but how truthful is that? Could it be 5 weeks? Maybe. Could it be 6? Maybe. But I sat here on that rapid reaction and said that, well, we can take out the idea of Illinois competing for the Big Ten Conference. Shame on me. This team has what it takes. And the reason they have what it takes is because of the man in charge, Keaton Wagler. The Keaton Wagler is the captain of this machine. The ship. He's the engine behind everything that Illinois does. But just behind Keaton, you have guys like David Mirkovic. You have guys like Jake Davis, Ben Hummerkaus, Tommy Avicic, who all understand their role and they perform to what their role expects. And that's why, go enjoy your Saturday nights. This is a team that if we lost today, I think all of us would question. We know the previous 7, they've won 8 in a row coming into today, but it wasn't exactly a tough challenge. Outside maybe Iowa, maybe Missouri. Today was the toughest test that this Illini basketball team not only has to face up to date, but maybe all season long. I know we go to Michigan State at the Breslin Center soon, and that's going to be a tough matchup. But I'm no longer at the point where, hey, let's split 2 out of 3 of the big between Purdue, Nebraska, and Michigan State. No, let's just go win all 3 of them. If you agree with me, give me an ILL in the chat. Make sure you like the button. Could this be the video to get me to 4,000? If you're watching this for the first time, I'm so close to 4,000 subs on YouTube. That's going to be enough for me right now. Sorry, I don't have any notes on me. I'll knock out another episode for you guys maybe tonight or tomorrow when I get home. But until next time, ILL, I love you guys.